Hey everybody, how are you? My name's CW2, Mike Stankovich. I'm in the U.S. Army. A friend of Pastor Kevin's. He asked if I could help out with his sermon, and I was more than willing to do so. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple thoughts about my experience during basic training. Uh, it was about, oh boy, 12, almost 13 years ago. So it wasn't too long after 9/11 that I was in basic training. Uh, 9/11 was actually one of the primary things that got me to join the military. So in that regard, it was a very big motivator for me while I was there, and I needed it because one of the most difficult things, from my experience, was the physical aspect of it. The physical training, the physical fitness tests, the smoke sessions where you're doing God knows how many calisthenics and different kinds of exercises until your body just can't even move. Not to mention the mental aspect of it. What I mean by the mental aspect of it is when you're there, these drill sergeants, they'll break you down um, almost to nothing, and then they build you back up. And they build you back up to be a soldier. Um, they get rid of all of your bad habits, your bad mannerisms. They instill in you a sense of maturity, responsibility, and professionalism that you probably never even thought you could achieve. Um, so it was all a head game and it was all a body game, basically a combination of the two. Um, Another thing that was kind of hard and difficult for me were the guys that I was there with. Some of the guys were very mature, other guys were very immature. And basic training is the land of mass punishment. So when one person messes up, everybody messes up. So certain people kind of made our lives a little bit more difficult than they had to be. Um, Probably thirdly, another thing was the isolation aspect of it. I was engaged at the time, so I had zero to I had very limited contact with my fiance. 10-minute phone calls once a week, letters in the mail. We had no TV, no radio, no internet, no Wi-Fi, no cell phones, no nothing. So if anything significant was going on in the world, our drill sergeants would let us know. But other than that, I mean, we were pretty much cut off from the outside, so to speak. So that was kind of tough. Um, but it was hard. It was hard, but it was good. It's probably one of the best things that I've ever done in my life because it's led me to the point where I am today. While joining the military is the path less traveled by most, um, gave me the opportunity, man, to be part of something bigger than myself. If you understand what I'm saying, much like when you start your walk with Christ, because just like the drill sergeants broke me down, 9 times out of 10, when you start to walk with Jesus or you get saved, that's pretty much what also happens to you. You're at a point in your life where you're broken or you realize you need a change for the better, and that's pretty much what happens. Once you become saved, you start your walk with Christ. He builds you back up to be that Christian man that you need to be. So in some regards, like your walk in faith and basic training are very similar in a lot of ways. They can both be frustrating. They can both be difficult. They can both be filled with obstacles and hurdles that you're going to have to get over. But at the end of the day, it builds you up and instills in you qualities that you didn't even know were there. Um, so that was one of the things that kind of kept me going. There were a lot of times I just felt beat down physically. You want to throw in the towel and just, almost wishing you would have never done this. But like I had said earlier, 9/11 was a big motivator for me. So that was one of the things that, always made me never stop, never quit. To keep trying, to keep plugging, to keep pushing, to keep running, to keep shooting, everything. It was easy. Plus, you don't want to let people down either. You want your family to be proud of you. You want your friends to be proud of you. You want your country to be proud of you. So I think 9/11 and then also a sense of pride, a combination of the two, was what always kept me going. But I think probably the biggest spiritual lesson that I was able to obtain from basic training was that's ultimately where I started my own walk with Christ. Um, every Sunday I was at church. I was in Bible study after church every Sunday. So I started getting into the Word a lot more than I was beforehand. I was going to church before basic training, but I wasn't really having a close relationship with God, really. And basic training was where that all started for me. So during the Bible studies, I was reading the Word a lot more. And then I noticed towards the end of basic training, I was finding myself reading a lot more. Because, of course, with 9/11 being a motivator, one of the things that I wanted to do when I graduated was I wanted to deploy. I wanted to go to Iraq when I graduated. And I got my wish. So I got into the Word a lot more because I knew where I was going to be going a couple weeks or a few months down the road. So I went through my year deployment in Iraq, went through numerous experiences and scenarios over there where I was probably 5 minutes, a couple feet away from not even coming home. So in that regard, the Word saved me many times when I was there. Psalms 144, 1 and 2 was a verse that they got me through a lot. So I'll leave that one up to you. I'm not going to speak it to you. I'll let you look it up. But so the biggest lesson for me, man, was to walk with Christ. When I got back from Iraq, I got saved, and here I am now, man, 12 years later, married my fiance. I've got 2 miracle children, beautiful children. I've got a great career. 2 years ago, when we got up here to Fort Drum, New York, I started leading a life group Bible study at my church. Next week, I'll be preaching for like the 4th time in my church. I signed up to take classes towards getting credentialed to hopefully one day eventually be a pastor. I've been through a lot in my life in the military and deployed. I got a pretty good collection of stories to tell that I think can help a lot of people. So I guess that's pretty much all I got, guys. Again, the biggest correlation between basic training and Christ is the walks and the experiences were a lot similar for me. When I got saved, it was tough. It was easy. There was a lot to get used to. It was different. Temptations, frustrations, tests. So hard times, much like basic training. But it was all part of being broken down and getting built right back up again. And at the end of the day, when I look at myself in the mirror, not only am I a good soldier for what I experienced, but also, I'm a good Christian as well. I cling to my faith, much like, I would cling to a rifle or my sidearm. So for me, they're kind of one and the same. So find something that motivates you. Find something that allows you never to quit. Keep in the Word because it will help you. It'll help you through every obstacle. It'll help you through every hurdle. It'll help you through every problem that you have. And a lot of you guys, you're teenagers, you might be in that mindset of, you already know everything and I'm just an old guy that doesn't know what I'm talking about and I'm not going to be able to tell you any different. And that's cool because I tell you what, man, I was there too when I was a teenager. But I've been through so much since my teenage years, growing up on the north side of Pittsburgh. There were a lot of things that happened to me back in the day where I probably shouldn't even be here speaking to you right now. But obviously I am, and I think it's probably for a reason. I don't think it's a coincidence that, Pastor Kevin reached out and I responded to him and, he asked me to do this. So I can just give you the biggest advice, man, to just stick in the Word, stay close to God, dig deeper, press in, get close to Him, and start walking with Him. And just allow Him to make changes in your life and watch what He can do for you. So again, guys, I hope this helped. I wish I could actually be there in person to talk to you guys about some of this stuff. But I'm up in Fort Drum, New York, about a half hour from Canada. It's about 20 degrees right now, and there's about 7 or 8 inches of snow on the ground, and it's still snowing. So, 'tis the season. So, I hope you guys enjoy Pastor Kevin's word. I hope you guys are able to take away a lot of good stuff from it. I hope you're a little bit wiser when he's done speaking to you than you were beforehand. And ultimately, guys, just be safe. All right. So, it was nice sharing with you guys. And again, guys, be safe and God bless.